everyone, I'm Gibbets, and welcome back to Satisfactory. But not the Satisfactory you remember. Because today, we're playing Satisfactory Plus, a total overhaul mod, which ups the complexity of the game by like 1,000%. But Mr. Gibbs here has a lot of experience in this particular video game, so I thought if I gave myself like 24 hours, I could practically beat this silly little mod pack. I was so arrogant and naive, but poor past Gibbs gave it a shot anyway, not realizing how screwed he would be. But it was already too late. In getting started, it didn't seem too different. Just building the main hub like usual. Some extra assembly required though. To do that, you need to upgrade it by collecting iron rods. If nature wouldn't get in the freaking way. But soon I realized there's no iron in the game anymore. There's just stereotype, which you have to first crush down, and then you turn it into sloppy iron ingots, which then can become iron rods. Well, isn't that annoying? But not too bad. Hub upgrade 2. We want to unlock this stuff called sapphirite, but no biggie probably, just back to hand mining, hand crafting, and GG easy. That lets us build an equipment workshop and portable miners. So all right, nothing too bad yet, or so I thought. Because after collecting some sapphirite and tasing some wildlife, it quickly started dawning on me that this one might be a little complicated. Because you have to crush the sapphirite as well to make the sloppy copper ingots, and then you have to make a copper rod, which then makes wire, which then makes cable. And this is just like the first 10 minutes of the game. How are things gonna look in a few hours? But I pressed on and upgraded the hub to level 3. Which is great because that gets us a constructor. So with a smelter and constructor, we could do a little bit of automation. But there was a problem because you can only smelt the crushed ore, not just the raw stuff. So even after getting the smelters, still had to go and handcraft. And then when I wanted to hook the power up, I learned the next fun thing. Screws. There were screws everywhere. Oh, and would you look at that? The constructor also needs screws. Interesting. Well, then I don't want to deal with any of that stuff yet. I want to unlock a crusher. But that only digs the rabbit hole deeper, because then you get rubite and tin. There's tin in the game now. But I thought we could at least use this stuff to make concrete for foundations. But then I quickly learned that no, actually, rubite isn't used for concrete at all. You have to make crushed stone out of the stereotype, and then crushed stone becomes concrete. Isn't that just fantastic? It's not like we needed the iron ore stuff for anything else, right? Oh, but that's okay. We're upgrading the hub. That means we get the crusher thing. That means automatic mining, and everything's gonna be perfect. Oh no, I lied. We need to get a modular miner first. But at least we had the crusher. So how absolutely exciting. We can take the stereotype and we can put it into the crusher, and then, oh, even at stage 1 of production, there's a byproduct. And you know what that means? That means if the byproduct fills up, the whole machine will stop. Which doesn't seem like a big deal when you just have one crusher, but if you need a crusher for every ore node, oh my gosh, that problem is gonna scale out of control so very quickly. But that's a future Gibbs problem. We have automation now. Then after building our first constructor, we could automate iron plates. Except that's what you normally do in a Satisfactory playthrough. This mod though demands screws, so I wanted to work towards them instead. And that was practically day 1. And for the rest of that night into the next morning, I managed to expand the production quite a bit after a little bit of reorganizing. So we had iron rods, copper rods, and wire, and other early game essentials. Except you know what we didn't have? We didn't have any power. Because since there are so many extra stages in production of even the most basic things, you need to build just that many more machines. And in the early game, you get 2, count them, 2 biomass burners, which aren't really good. So not only do you have to run around collecting, organics, but I'd regularly have to pick and choose like, hey, what machines should I just keep off for a little while to not blow up the power grid, which is only a little annoying. But you know, whatever, just early game stuff. We're gonna fly through this phase, no problem. Because over the night, I got the next hub upgrade, which got modular miners, and then I gathered enough material for hub upgrade 6, which has wind turbines, which I thought was like, oh yeah, infinite energy. GG. Please, take my resources. Give me the power. But there was a catch. Because even though we could build a wind turbine, which could potentially get us 10 megawatts for free, I didn't realize that it wasn't gonna be so simple. The wind turbines produce more power when they're higher up, but also the wind is variable. So sometimes you'll have like 5 megawatts, sometimes you'll have 2. So if I base my whole power system off of wind, the grid would shut down every so often, which meant that we're gonna go back to biomass burners. Good thing is though, they actually have an entrance into them, so you can automate the process quite a bit. Another cool thing are the modular miners. They have a water input, so that means they probably can be upgraded. Not only that, but they have 2 outputs. So when they're upgraded, you can get a lot of stuff. Just gotta remember the mine head, which needs portable miners, which I need to handcraft. But no biggie, cause automation is on its way, I thought. No, actually, the power thing's a bug whenever you put the mine head on those things. It just says the power's gone out, but it's not. We're all good. And I can focus up on the next couple goals, like simple logistics, mergers and stuff. But oh wait, what's that? A tin sheet. Who's this? Iron sheet. What? Oh yeah, if there weren't enough intermediaries before. Oh boy, there's so much more. There's tin rods, there's iron sheets, copper sheets, tin sheets, everything. There's wire out the wazoo, copper bustas, and don't forget screws. You always need screws. The modular miner needs them. The mining head, oh yeah, crusher, still needs them. This entire mod pack relies all around screws. Even the belts. The belts need screws. Why do you need screws in this? I don't know. The conveyor pulls, screws. It's insane, and it only gets worse. So looking at the old tech tree here, simple logistics seems cool and all. Glass, we're not gonna mess with glass. Kind of my order of operations in my head was we want destruction of nature for the chainsaw and solid biofuel, or the bio nuggies. Because with enough power, we don't have to worry about expanding all too much. And more importantly, I can stop running around collecting leaves, which is really, really annoying. But once we had the power nuggies and the chainsaw, everything would be fine, right? No, it was not all fine. Well, it was a little bit better. Automated at least the leaf processing, so we could make that into the biomass and then into biofuel and feed that into some machines. All that we really still needed was splitters. Once we had those, we could set up a proper factory and live our best lives. Because with splitters, you can make the ratios from the mining machines to the constructors and all that. And most importantly, you can make an overflow system of splitters to feed bio nuggies to all the bio plants you want. But oh wait, what's that? It takes a conveyor belt to make a splitter? A simple conveyor? Who's the new friend? Who invited them? How do you make a simple conveyor? It just takes a reinforced iron plate. Just another production chain for the pile, right? Right. Big picture here, we now had a reliable power source, and I didn't need to worry about wind stuff. And we're good to expand and build a proper factory that actually uses automatic mining. So how the process works is you build the miner, you build the crusher, you send the stone off to somewhere else, take the crushed material, put it into the smelter, make some slop, and then you construct the 1,000 different parts.
I switched from due dates to due dates, and it made me go from weeks behind to weeks ahead of my deadlines. You see, I used to just bed rot all day getting nothing done. And you know that feeling of anxiety where ticking off items on your daily chores and to-do list is quite overwhelming? That was me. That was until I was told about this one secret. You see, it's called time blocking, and it changed my life. There are loads of
And we're good to expand and build a proper factory that actually uses automatic mining. So how the process works is you build the miner, you build the crusher, you send the stone off to somewhere else, take the crushed material, put it into the smelter, make some slop, and then you construct the 1,000 different parts. Which brings us proudly to day 3, where my goodness, things actually kind of look okay now. We have bio nuggies out the wazoo. We're able to construct concrete so the stone doesn't clog up the machines. And all of the different iron parts have been automated, from screws to rods to plates, and then all of the weird new stuff. And with all the automation, I was able to craft a bunch more wind turbines, which really helped out with the power. But most importantly, I was going a little screwy with the messy factory we had, and a little organization goes a long way towards my mental health. Until my brain kind of snapped, realizing I had to do this exact same process all over again, but for the copper over there. But you know, setting up the iron was good practice, and the process is not too bad. As a miner, we set up the crusher, a couple smelty labs, and then construct like a million different parts. Belt it up, belt it all down, and that's copper automated, baby! And one more hour of my life gone. After feeling a little comfortable with that, it was time to get into ore sorting, which gets us into the tin and lead tech tree, introducing a new machine called a sorter. So miner, crusher, sorter, then spaghetti. Because over in the sorter, you get crushed tin, crushed lead, and yes, more stone. And like copper and iron, those materials become ingots. Then the whole slew of regular subjects, like plates, and sheets, and more plates. And don't you dare forget about tin wire. Don't you ever forget about the wire. There's so much wire. But it was all in a good day's work. Things were actually still quite organized. But you know what would really help with organization?